this is it.
This place, feels empty. There's nothing here.
It is now. But it used to be filled with irises. This is my mom's garden. She used to love flowers and would plant a lot of them when she wasn't busy. Before she left, she asked me to help look after it and said she'd come see it with me when she's back. I watered them every day, hoping they could bloom longer. But these flowers only bloom for a short time. They all withered in the end. Dad told me, "Don't be sad, sweetie. It's the natural cycle of life." I understood that, but it always reminds me of my promise to Mom. I miss her so much. Now I see this shield and sword are all treasures that Mom left me. And here, I think she probably wanted to make a wreath with me using those flowers.
Oh, Ying.
Thank you, Encore and Rover. Actually, when I saw Dad looking sad while holding the map, I had the feeling that Mom might have left this treasure map to play a game with me. Maybe it is like what the grown-ups say. The gateway of wishes doesn't exist. And I may never get to see her again, talk to her, and tell her how much I've grown. But Mom must have wanted to give me a surprise. To make me happy. I am happy. Because we managed to find all the treasures she left behind together. I'll definitely find a nice place to keep this sword and shield safe. I think we should end our adventure here. Thank you, Encore and Rover.
Our captain hasn't announced the end of our adventure yet. And you're thinking about leaving already? Well, okay then. Let's call it a day right here. There's some stuff I need to wrap my head around too. I remember you asked me about the ending of the Woolly Warrior, right? Even though we finished finding the relics, Team Woolly's adventure goes on. There's still plenty of stories to tell. Oh, I know! How about you come to Encore's story session tomorrow afternoon?
Tomorrow? You mean right here?
Yeah, if you want to find out what happens to Team Woolly, come over and listen to the rest of the story. Be there or be square.
Okay then. I'll see you tomorrow.
Yup! See you tomorrow, Ying. Do you think this is a good ending to the story? After all, Ying got the treasures left by her mother. If this was a story, it would end something like this. In the end, the little warrior managed to collect all of the relics left by her mother, realizing her intentions. But Encore still feels like something's missing. In this ending, She didn't even make it to the Gateway of Wishes. Just like in the story of the Woolly Warrior. What do you think? Will the Woolly Warrior's wish come true in the end? If it comes true, then she should be able to see her family again. After such a wonderful and interesting adventure, she must have so much to say to them. But actually, there is no true ending to Woolly Warrior's story. Remember the play Ying told us about when she showed us the treasure map? Ying said she'd already forgotten what most of the play was about. All she could remember was that the hero had been searching for a legendary treasure to make their wishes come true. Ha! I knew straight away that the treasure map wasn't for the Woolly Warrior's sword. But it was a gift left to her by Ying's mother. Wanna guess how I found out? Yeah, that play was about the Woolly Warrior's story, and I remember each and every part of it. Because that play was a gift from my mom. Now time for a story from Encore. In this story, there are no exciting adventures, no terrifying monsters. It didn't happen once upon a time, and it's not somewhere far, far away. Rather, it's in a little room. Every night there's a little girl. She plays games with her mother. Playing as the Woolly Warrior. Together, she and her mom create story after story about courage and hope. It also happens in her theater. Every day, the little girl sits below the stage. The curtain rises and the music plays. She watches her mother set everything up, bringing the Woolly Kingdom from the story into real life. Little by little, the Woolly Kingdom becomes real, and the Woolly Warrior sets off on her adventure. She first climbs the tallest mountain, looking for the legendary sword that can split mountains and seas. But it's really so the girl can prove how brave she is. The toolbox was actually on the tallest shelf. The Woolly Warrior also searches every beach, looking high and low for the shield of faith that could brave any storm. Her house had many nooks and crannies after all. The raspberry candy her mom hid could be anywhere. Her mom recorded all the Woolly Warrior's adventures, so the Woolly Kingdom grew bigger and bigger, and the stories grew longer and longer. They even performed the play in many cities. But the little girl's mom got sicker. At the last show, just before the Woolly Warrior got the wreath of hope, the show ended, but there was no encore. Mom Mom told me that once the applause starts at the final show of our tour, she'd take me onto the stage to make a wish. But she collapsed before the play ended. I was so scared. I tried to come up with ways to make her feel better. I even kept a daily to-do list. At the time, I thought that if I stayed a good girl like the characters in the stories, Mom would get better and better. But her illness got worse. She didn't get better, and the Gateway of Wishes never appeared. Encore didn't know what to do anymore. Mom just asked me to sit by her bed and tell her stories. So I told her about Warrior Cosmos, Fairy Cloudy, and many other things. She always smiled each time. It was right around that time when Cosmos and Cloudy appeared from the stories. Mom told me they're a part of life, and these stories will always be with me. After she left, Encore had to become the woolly warrior, going on adventures on her own. Whether it was in the orphanage or at the Black Shores, Encore would write down everything she experienced. With these stories, Mom will know what kind of adventures Encore had and all the friends Encore made. Later on, Encore wanted to continue writing the Woolly Warrior story, but this time, it's a bit different from before. Now she has her own friends that she can adventure together to find the Gateway of Wishes. Because finding that gateway is the only way she can tell all her stories to her mom. So she knows how well she did. That's why. Yeah, she said she had a lot to say to her mother. Oh, just like me. There's so much Encore wants to say, and so many stories that Encore wants Mom to hear. Our time with Ying reminded me of all of that. Even though Woolly Warrior's story has no true ending, will Ying's be any different? Will she be able to make her wish come true? In the end, Ying said the adventure is over, and it's just a story. She said she was happy and satisfied with that. But Encore saw that look on her face. She looked really, really sad. Encore knows how it feels. Just like how it used to be. No matter what Encore did, Mom wouldn't get any better. My stories were the only things that could make her feel happy. It was Mom who made me understand the power of stories. That's why after I went on this journey alone, Cosmos and Cloudy came out of the land of imagination. And it's why Encore told Ying that our adventure should not end like this. This story deserves a better ending. Rover. Agreed. The story must have an ending. But what should we do? Oh, there's no way we can bring Ying's mother back. I mean, the Gateway of Wishes doesn't actually exist in real life. In the story?
I remember Cloudy said that if you ever find yourself in a pickle in real life, you can always go back to the Woolly Kingdom to search for clues. You also mentioned that's where the Gateway of Wishes is hidden, right? And you've always wanted to finish writing the story of the Woolly Warrior. This means the final stage of the story should be set inside the Woolly Kingdom.
Encore sees what you mean. Encore can invite you and Ying into the Woolly Kingdom and go on a real adventure with me, the Woolly Warrior. But the kingdom isn't someplace you can go willy-nilly. That's for sure. We're a team together. We should make a wreath for her and let her know that our adventure is not over yet. Encore remembers it went something like this. The wreath is a crown of flowers that can reflect a person's thoughts. Never withers, forever blossoming. How are we gonna make it? You mean Verena? That's right! Verena loves flowers. She's a flower's best friend. Let's see if she has any ideas.